7-point game.
Kaufman-Renn just can't get an offensive foul.
Heidi, a deep three. It's good!
I'll tell you, this guy's been really good for them.
Heidi's second three. He's got 6 points.
They need to attack Kaufman-Renn right now.
Cryer, step back. Not his night. Heidi the rebound. Purdue has 9 field goals this half, and Smith has assists on all 9 of them for Purdue. Where will he go here?
They'll keep doubling him.
And a kick ball, stopping the clock with 4:30 to go.
I think you got to go into Kaufman-Renn, but he's got to be careful, especially on these dribble handoffs, pick and rolls. You can't set an illegal screen.
Loud chants of "Let's go Boilers." The top seed in the Midwest, Houston, playing what is very much a road game right now. Kaufman-Renn with Roberts on him, gets around him,
Great move.
and he is fouled.
They get the ball into Trey Kaufman-Renn. No double. Great spin move.
And now Tugler picks up his 4th for Houston. Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12. 2 shots for Kaufman-Renn. Coming up next, Adam Lefko, Jay Wright, Candace Parker, and Seth Davis have all the highlights and analysis on Inside March Madness, presented by Buick, only on TBS. Kaufman-Renn now in double figures with 11 points. Tugler goes out with the 4 fouls.
The stats in this game are ridiculously even. When you think of the shooting percentages, the amount of threes made.
Been a good one throughout. Offense, defense, substitution for Purdue with First back on the floor.
Big possession for Houston. I think they should play through Roberts. I think First will have his hands full. And then they got to go to the glass hard, because this is Purdue's small team.
Uzan with 5 to shoot. Inside it goes to Francis. His turnaround is short. Rebound out of bounds to Houston. It'll be Cougars basketball when we come back. 3:48 to go. 1 spot left in the Elite Eight. Will it be Purdue or will it be Houston? Find out when we come back. Gene Steratore is with us. And Gene, take a look at this last one going out of bounds, and they called it Houston basketball.
Yeah, Andrew, as you see them fighting, to me it looks like Juwan Roberts. The ball hits off that left knee right there and goes out. Now we're outside of 2 minutes, so it's not a reviewable play, as we know. So Houston is going to get this ball, but I think clearly on that shot you see it off their knee.
We agree, Gene. Tough break for Purdue. It's Houston basketball. No field goals in the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Can Cryer change it? He can! Big shot and a big fist pump from Kelvin Sampson.
And what a great screen. They worked on that flare screen yesterday, and L.J. Cryer knocks out his first 3 of the night.
He was 1 for 11 before that shot. Smith, Colvin, catch and shoot 3. Can't answer, and the rebound to Uzan.
And those are the shots that he was making. There's a wide open 3. It's a good shot, a good pass across the court.
Cryer comes to get it. And now Sharp looking at the shot clock. It's down to 4. Puts up a shot. That won't go. The rebound to Heidi with 2:40 to play.
Might not be a bad time to use one of those timeouts. You got 2 left to get him back in the game.
Matt Painter thinking the same thing. The winner will play Tennessee in the Elite Eight on Sunday. Right now, a 5-point Houston advantage. Saturday in Providence, Rhode Island, St. John's against Arkansas. R.J. Lewis, St. John's' star, was having a bad night. He was 3 for 17. Rick Pitino benched him for the final 5 minutes. Here tonight, L.J. Cryer, Houston's star, was 1 for 11. Kelvin Sampson keeps him in, and he hits a big 3 a moment ago.
Well, you know how I feel about that, Andrew. I thought R.J. Lewis should have stayed in. You got to go with your best guys. I don't care how they're playing up until then.
That was Purdue's final timeout with 2:32 to go.
And you got to figure this is going to go into Kaufman-Renn somehow, some way.
Smith, Kaufman-Renn, there it is.
I'll tell you, Braden Smith can play cat and mouse with that high screen better than anybody in the country.
1 possession game. 14 assists for Braden Smith, and 10 have come here in the second half. Uzan, tough shot, tipped up. Francis right to Kaufman-Renn.
And one thing, Andrew, Houston's got 2 fouls to give. I'm not saying they should just give it, but if a guy goes by him, they need to foul him so they don't get beat.
They can be aggressive in this spot, no doubt about it. Heidi fakes the 3, now steps back. Heidi won't go, and the rebound to Roberts. And now Cryer will slowly bring the ball up the floor. Houston has lost in the Sweet 16 each of the last 2 years. Trying to get to the Elite Eight and a date with Tennessee on Sunday. Cryer through the defense. Kaufman-Renn got a piece of it.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about holding the ball in that situation and only taking 5 seconds to get a shot. Well, you know where they're going. That's foul.
And a foul is called on Sharp. And that's the 5th team foul against the Cougars.
Kaufman-Renn does a great job here with 4 fouls. They could have called the 5th one there too, to be honest with you.
Speaking of 4 fouls, Joseph Tugler comes back on the floor with 1:03 to go.
Well, he's a tremendous defender. That's a good move by Kelvin Sampson. And they got him on Kaufman-Renn.
Yeah, right next to Kaufman-Renn.
They could be aggressive. They still have a foul.
Lawyer able to get it over to Kaufman-Renn. Colvin extra pass. Smith a 3. And the long rebound to Kaufman-Renn.
They don't have to take a 3, but they got to get something good.
Shot clock at 10. Everyone watching Braden Smith of Purdue. Where will he go with 5 to shoot? Smith with Roberts on him. Smith to the corner. Heidi a 3. It's good! We are tied! Timeout, Houston! Houston led by 10 with 7 minutes to play, and now we're tied with 29 seconds left.
Well, you know, Braden Smith, the guy is like a maestro. He had a feel for knowing that there was enough time for Heidi to get a shot off right at the end of the shot clock. That's what the great point guards do, and Heidi came through with a big-time 3.
Purdue has 11 field goals this half, and Smith has an assist on all 11 of them. 15 for the game for Braden Smith.
Now, right now, Houston's going to run this thing down as far as they can, but the truth is Purdue's going to get at least 4 seconds if they can get the rebound. They have to get this rebound. They don't want to foul. Houston, you got to think, they're going to go pick and roll. They're going to try and get something for Cryer or Roberts in the lane.
We were at the Houston practice yesterday. And the last 10 minutes of practice were dedicated to late game situations, these exact situations. And we asked Kelvin Sampson about doing that in practice, and he said, look, when you're in a timeout late in a game, you don't have time to teach new things or go over things that you're just installing for the first time. We practice them almost every day. He feels that they are prepared for this moment right now.
There's no doubt these kids know exactly what it is he wants them to do, and now they have to go out and execute it. Again, they want to run this clock down as far as they can, obviously without getting a shot clock violation, and get a shot and then go to the glass. They'll have time to go to the glass because it's a 4-second differential.
This building has seen Gordon Hayward, Jalen Suggs, or we're about to see another tremendous finish at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, he wants to start going when there's like 6 on the shot clock.
Uzan with 5 to shoot. Uzan, Smith to the ground. Uzan, turnaround, not there. The tip, no! And it goes out of bounds to Houston with 2.2 on the clock. And Kelvin Sampson will call his final timeout.
Yeah, that was not a great possession for Houston. Uzan ends up taking a tough shot. You really need to get something going to the basket in that situation. He could have gotten called for pushing off there too.
The out-of-bounds call on the floor is under review.
They will take another look just to confirm that it's Houston basketball.
Oh, that's he got away with one there.
Does look to be off of Heidi and Houston ball.
Yeah, I think it's off Heidi.
On the floor, it was called off of Cam Heidi.
And usually in these situations, too, they'll put something back on the clock.
Gene Steratore back with us. What do you see, Gene?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Lap Andrew. I think it's obviously off Heidi, and I've got 2.8 seconds from what I looked at on my replays for the game clock, but I think this is more of a timing thing than it is who it's off last.
Yeah. And that's plenty of time to get a good shot. Plenty of time. Let's see what Kelvin Sampson draws up.
And keep in mind, Purdue has 7 team fouls. So if they foul here, it'll send Houston to the free throw line.
Yeah, with 2.2 to go, you got to get a stop and a rebound. That's it.
Well, because of the review, this is not a Houston timeout. So if they have trouble inbounding the ball, Houston will still have a timeout to call.
And, you know, really on that play at the end when Heidi scored, you know, Houston was sitting there with a foul to give and didn't use it. But you don't want to use it there and then all of a sudden get the shot clock gets reset either. So they were kind of in a tough spot with that foul.
Not surprisingly, Steratore nailed it. 2.8 on the clock. Uzan, Cryer, Roberts, Sharp, and Tugler out there for the Cougars. Playing for a spot in the Elite Eight. Uzan gets it in, gets it back, and he puts it in! What a play! And now the officials will stop the clock to examine exactly how much time is left.
What a great play. The inbounder is always the forgotten man.
The previous play is under review for the clock.
Uzan took the ball out of bounds and stepped in. Watch how he steps in quickly. That is a tremendous out-of-bounds play by Kelvin Sampson. You talked about the special situations, Andrew. That's about as special as it gets.
And Uzan has had a special night with 22 points and 6 assists. And for now, the game-winning bucket. But there's still going to be some time for Purdue.
And you always say, don't forget the inbounder.
The clock will be reset to 0.9 seconds.
So they have time to catch and shoot. Obviously, you got to throw something at least to half court, if not further. But, you know, it's tough to get a clean catch in these situations.
Well, we're after midnight, so this somewhat ruins it. But yesterday, when the game started, on that day in 1992, was the Christian Laettner shot for Duke to beat Kentucky.
I think there was a little more time than .9, but I do like the fact that Houston's got a man on. They got Tugler guarding the inbounder. I think that's a good move. And in that game, Rick Pitino did not guard the inbounder.
.9 on the clock.
The one thing that Houston does not want to do here is foul. Going for the loose ball or something, going over somebody's back. That's what you're worried about.
Only have 5 team fouls, though, so they have one to give.
Oh, with one team foul to give, this thing's over. You might as well foul them going for the ball. They're not going to be in a shooting motion.
Officials sorting something out, and now C.J. Cox hops off the bench for Purdue. And C.J. Cox will be the one to inbound.
Yeah, they couldn't make a sub because the referee stopped the game.
.9 to go. Purdue looking for a prayer. Cox gets it in. Smith from midcourt. His turnaround is not there. And the Cougars are moving on. Two incredible coaches. And in the end, what a play design by Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah, the bottom line is that was an unbelievable execution of an out-of-bounds play. You got to give Kelvin Sampson tremendous credit, but you have to give the Purdue kids credit. They played a gutsy game against a very, very difficult opponent. And the reason why it's a difficult opponent is because they're so good defensively, they're so physical, and you got to give Houston credit, but I think Purdue also deserves some credit in this.